Hi everyone. For everyone who couldn't make it to today's final session of Introduction to Python, I just want to give a quick overview of what we discussed during the tutorial today. We'll start my screen share. I think that is the one. So today we talked about Pandas for data science. Pandas is a widely used data analysis library in Python. So what exactly is Pandas? It is a data analysis library which you can perform different data analysis tasks and manipulate data sets, data objects in different ways. It's open source and it's built specifically for Python. So reasons for using Pandas is that it is one of the most popular data analysis libraries for Python. This is convenient because if you work with other people on projects, they likely know it or they use it in their code already. It makes your code more readable for other people who are familiar with these libraries. And it's also so common and popular for a reason. So, um, reasons are that it's flexible and very easy to use. And furthermore, data operations uh, are more computationally efficient than, for example, if you use for loops. So for a lot of operations, you can use a vectorized approach, which is common in R, for example, as well. And if you do that, it's much more efficient than if you write your own for loop, basically. So in Pandas, there are two main data structures. The first is the Pandas series, which is a one-dimensional data object. It is very similar to lists that we saw earlier, which are also one-dimensional. And then there are Pandas data frames, which are two-dimensional. So if you have a data set, this is what you will usually use. Then with Pandas, you can do many different tasks. So it has possibilities for handling missing data. If you want to use NaN values, for example, you can use it to filter rows or columns, and you can transform data into different formats. Furthermore, you can do tasks like data alignment and indexing of data sets, and it is integrated with other libraries. So last week we talked, for example, about matplotlib. If you want to plot something, you can fairly easily plot a pandas data frame. So this is very convenient, of course, that you don't have to convert it to something else. It's very much integrated with other Python packages. And besides Matplotlib, for example, when it comes to machine learning tasks, you can make use of Pandas data frames in scikit-learn, which is package for machine learning in Python. You can also do things like data grouping. So, for example, if you have a biological experiment, for example, a clinical, you have clinical data from different groups of patients, you can group this data and you can perform operations on these different groups. So you use pandas to group the data, and then you can easily perform, for example, ANOVA, t-tests between on these different groups. Um, And you can also export data, of course, with um, specific functions in Pandas. So, for example, exports a data frame as a CSV file. There's a simple direct function to do that in Pandas. So how do we use it? Usually we import pandas, usually we abbreviate it with PD. So I would always start with import pandas as PD. And then there are different ways to retrieve elements from pandas series or from pandas data frames. So here we see a few examples. If we want the first print statement, if we want to access the 10th element in the series, we use the 9 because we start counting at 0. If we want to use the first 5 elements, we can use a column and then the number up to which we count. Um, so in this case, it gives you um, element 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are the first 5 elements. And it counts to 5, but not including 5. Um, and then there's a .ilog, which you will use in other cases to access specific elements. So I think the best way is to just practice with this. So we have another exercise sheet. I will share the solutions to all the exercises as well. And I think it are useful exercises. So good luck, and I hope you find this lecture useful. Thanks.